Caitlin Clark?
Including Caitlin, yeah.
Out on an island, and nobody's throwing her a life preserver, including her teammate,
Nuts.
including Caitlin Clark.
Crazy.
Including Caitlin, yeah. I'll give Caitlin a tiny bit of grace in that she is dealing with so much as it is.
Agreed.
So much as it is. However,
We concur.
It sure would be nice for someone to
Yes.
link arms with Sophie.
It's
besides
what?
all of us who are not active, professional athletes.
Word.
I've been happy to see Martina Navratilova, but
Yeah.
she's retired. Sophie is now a hero because she did the hardest thing.
Yep.
She talked about this and
The
was
brave,
honest about it
courageous,
while she's
intrepid
still
thing.
professional. While there are professional athletes. I've been happy to see Martina Navratilova, but she's retired. Sophie is now a hero because she did the hardest thing. She talked about this and was honest about it
Publicly.
while she's still professional. While there are things on the line for her,
Yep.
while there are endorsements on the line for her. I've talked to retired NFL players who do not want to get involved in this, even when they have daughters, because it might hurt their brand. So I don't know what kind
Understandable,
of
but
mass we're going to
unlaudable.
have to
It's
get
understandable,
together
but
to make it okay
unlaudable.
for people to stick
You have to have
while she's
courage,
still professional,
bravery,
while there are things
intrepidness.
on the line for her, while there are endorsements on the line for her.
Yep.
I've talked to
She's
retired
unapologetic. Salutes to
NFL
her.
players who do not want to get involved in this, even
Yeah.
when they have daughters, because it might hurt their brand.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind
Tough.
of collective mass we're going to have to gather to make it okay for people to stand up for reality.
Yep.
Because that's what this is.
Yes.
You know, you can.
Indubitably.
Maybe Cheryl Reeve was complaining about men taking some of the women's coaching jobs.
Positions.
Maybe if those men just identified as women, would she be okay with it then? That's what I wonder. Would she be okay with it then?
Probably, because I think she'd realize, oh wait, that's too close for me to try to make an excuse for this, an excuse for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the men as well, because I have been critical of the men that we have talked to for years and covered for decades, who, by the way, I understand the brand thing.
Yeah,
They also have,
same.
$100 million in the bank, or if it's much less, they don't have nearly as much to risk.
Correct.
But they're silent. So I've been critical of them. Now, however, I'm going to be honest. Forget about them. I mean, shame on them for not being man enough to talk about the most obvious common sense thing. But how can we expect them to do it if women won't even say the obvious thing? It shouldn't
Words.
be an issue, but it
Facts.
is. So doesn't it start with us?
Yes, it does. To answer this question, to answer Sage's question, yes.
But it is. So doesn't it start
The women
with
have
us,
to.
us meaning those athletes in the sport?
Yeah. Yes.
There has to be self-criticism.
Right. No, that's right.
Intra-criticism, intra-accountability.
However, I'm going to be honest. Forget about them.
It all starts with self. They say it's all starts. It's all starts with self. So you have to do self.
It shouldn't even be an issue, but it is. And so doesn't
you have to do internal. You must do internal accountability.
If they won't even do it.
Right. No, that's right. And that's why I think Sophie Cunningham.
This is important all the way.
Shame on them for not being man enough to talk about the most obvious common sense thing. But how can we expect them to do it if women won't even say the obvious thing? It shouldn't even be an issue, but it is. And so doesn't it start with us? Us meaning those athletes
Indubitably.
in the sport?
Indisputably.
So how can we push them out if they won't even do it?
Incontestably.
Right. No, that's right. And that's why I think Sophie Cunningham has become such a hero. You saw Jeff Dye's post on X where he said, boy, when Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird and Simone Biles all speak out about
the
politics,
gymnast,
they're
Simone.
heroic and brave. But when Sophie Cunningham does it, she's a pariah.
She's evil. She's bigoted. She's transphobic. She's a transphobe. Please, bro, miss me. Stop. Cease cod. Cease drivel. Cease malarkey. Cease pick swallow. Cease cod swallow. Cease hawkwash.
Like you said, already has everything in the bank.
You have to be
is not risking much, and
you have to be fair
so
across the board. You have to be fair across the board and consistent across the board.
And I would bet that if we took a vote of any is a pariah, it's like, no, you know what? For so many young girls, for so many of us, Sage, we look at Sophie and we see a hero because.
And how can we push the men if they won't even do it?
Right, no, that's right. And that's why I think Sophie Cunningham has become such a hero. You saw Jeff Dye's post on X where he said, boy, when Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird and Simone Biles all speak out about politics, they're heroic and brave. But when Sophie Cunningham does it, she's a pariah. It's like, no,
because
you know what?
Sophie doesn't align politically
for so many of us, Sage,
with them. This is the reason they see Sophie as what she is. This is the reason they see Sophie as evil, bigoted, transphobic, and the enemy.
For decades. By the way, I understand the brand thing.
They don't see the Simones, the Rapinos as the enemies because they align politically. It is crazy. The selectiveness is all the way crazy.
Right, no, that's right. And that's why I think Sophie Cunningham.
It is a poison. It is a disease. This selectiveness, this wokeness, this partiality, this
Rapinoe and Sue Bird and Simone Biles
partialness.
Speak out about politics. They're heroic and brave.
The wokeness.
But when Sophie Cunningham
it is a disease, a social malady.
Like, no, you know what? For so many young girls, for so many of us, Sage, we look at Sophie and we see a hero because what she is doing takes so much more guts than a retired athlete who, like you said, already has everything in the bank, has had their career, is not risking much, and so I love her so much, and it's so nice to see people rallying to her. And I would bet that if we took a vote of any room of 100 people, she'd have won over 85 of them at least.
I think so. And it's interesting. I do think it's important to remind people who are out there saying that she's grifting and making this all about her.
With no evidence. They're presupposing, they're assuming,
and she answered the question.
They're asserting. There's no proof to substantiate these accusations. Just because you don't agree with Sophie, this doesn't mean she's grifting or she's trying to pander to MAGA people. Stop. Cease. Cease.
Sophie was asked a question.
Yep.
And she answered the question.
Words. Logically,
100 people,
calmly,
won over 85 of them at least.
Civilly, peacefully.
And it's interesting. I do think it's important to remind people who are out there saying that she's grifting and making this all about her. Sophie was asked a question.
Words.
And she answered the question.
Yep.
That is it. She didn't.
What is the issue?
She didn't.
What is the problem?
Post-game conference and say, hey, can I let you know how I feel about this big controversial topic? She was asked a question by an ESPN reporter, surprisingly enough, and she answered honestly. So I do think that is important to point out. And I'd love for people at home who haven't seen this video to take a look, because she is heroic to so many young girls who are confused by this controversy. Take a look.
We keep our eye on the big picture.
Sophie didn't condescend to trans people or say trans people suck or they are below non-trans people or they should be treated poorly. She didn't say any of these things. She did not say trans people should be treated poorly, bro. So cease this negative assumption that she's grifting. This baseless remark, this baseless accusation. Cease this, bro.
Moderate to severe opioid addiction in adults started on an oral dose of buprenorphine or already on
You are engaging. You really are engaging in hate bait. You do a disservice. You don't have the best interests of these trans people, these trans women.
People at home who haven't seen this video to take a look.
You profess to be pro-trans, but
to so many young girls who are confused by this controversy.
You are using trans women as pawns to cause division between trans people and non-trans people. You suck. You suck.
I do think that is important to point
Cease
out.
the hate bait.
And
Cease the division.
I'd love
The
for people at home
disunity.
who haven't seen this video to take a look, because she is
The antipathy.
heroic to so many young girls who are confused by this controversy. Take a look. Yeah, heroic to so many young girls who are confused by this controversy. Take a look.
Yeah, she's happy. The fan, the little kids, she's very happy to see Sophie. Sophie is very happy. The mom is very happy. This is dope. This is a dope image.
So why does that, as a mother, get me choked up? The mother was there crying, you know?
I'm the same way with you right now. I can tell I'm feeling exactly the same. I'm fighting back some mist in my eyeballs. I have goosebumps because we remember what our daughters were like at that age, and the look on that girl's face. I mean, she might as well have just met Harry Styles or Taylor Swift, you know? And then the mom is emotional watching her little girl have this moment, and the mom is like emotional. It's just, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
You know, I just, when I didn't think I could love Sophie anymore, that video just made me go, okay, yeah, she's authentic. She's
unabashed, unashamed, unabashed, intrepid, courageous, bold in a positive way, unflappable.
Speaking of her shoe, there is that her shoes sold out in like an hour or something once they came out on the market.
Exactly.
Fuego.
It's a beautiful thing. You know, I just, when I didn't think I could love Sophie anymore,
unaffected,
that video just made me go, okay, yeah, she's authentic. She's
unfazed.
This is not a grift. What I do love, though, speaking of her shoe, there is that her shoes sold out in like an hour or something once they came out on the market.
Exactly.
Big
a lot
dope.
of Sophie fans out there. Sophie Cunningham is getting attention for all the right reasons, and no,
legit.
It's not grifting.
The real deal.
Men's and women's shoes selling out in like an hour as soon as this. And the jersey is now second only to Caitlin Clark. The fact that they're on the same team in the middle of the country, as they like to call the flyover states, it's just, there is so much goodness with this whole thing. And I do hope that that little girl and all the little girls out there who are, you know, excited to see these young women standing up for them, I hope that they also can feel some of, like you said, the courage from Sophie and use that by just wearing shirts sometimes. Right. You know, I have so many friends now who are like, hey, we went online and we bought XXXY. Like, just doing that, you're teaching your young women, these little girls, or older girls, old people like us, to stand tall and do it with kindness, because this isn't an opinion. These are facts that we are discussing. Discussing.
This is no assertion. This is no this is no belief. This is no supposition. This is no
an opinion. These are facts that we are discussing.
This is no view. This is the truth. This is no supposition. This is no assertion. This is no belief. This is the incontestable truth.
I'm having a hard.
Or as the science. Michelle, how do you think this plays out? About XXXY, like, just doing that, you're teaching your young women, these little girls, or older girls, old people like us, to stand tall and do it with kindness, because this isn't an opinion. These are facts that we are discussing. Discussing, as far as the science. Michelle, how do you think this plays out?
I don't know. I mean, I don't have an answer, because I really am having a hard time understanding the motives for the people who are standing up for this idea of trans women being real women. They are not. Facts. They are not.
They were born male.
I don't know how many ways to say it. One of the things I wish were captured in more of the videos.
As far as
trans women will never be women. This is the reality.
I mean,
Trans
I
women
don't
can
have an
think
answer
they
because I
are
really
women.
am having a hard time understanding.
Yes, but this doesn't mean they
motives
are
for
women
the people
in
who
reality.
are standing up for this.
You must
idea of
adhere
trans
to
women
reality.
being
You must
real
adhere.
women.
You
They are
really
not.
must
They are
adhere to
not.
reality.
I don't know
You
how
must
many ways to say it.
adhere to
One of the things I
reality.
wish were captured
You
in more
must
of the videos from
adhere
yesterday's event
to
was, from
reality.
Sunday's event, standing up for
You
this
must
idea of
adhere
trans
to
women
the truth,
being real women. They are
to
not.
logic,
They are not.
to reason, to
I don't
rationality.
know how many ways
You
to
must
say it.
adhere.
One of the
You
things I
must
wish were captured in more
adhere
of the
to
videos from
reason.
yesterday's event was are standing up for this idea of trans women being real women. They are not. They are not. I don't know how many ways to say it. One of the things I wish were captured in more of the videos from yesterday's event was, or from Sunday's event rather, was there was a guy who showed up wearing a long blonde wig and a dress. And he had a sign hanging around his neck that said, trans women are men. And he was very clearly exemplifying the fact that I can dress like this, I am
Yep.
clearly a man.
Yes.
And he was getting in the face of the counter protesters and, just on and on.
Yeah.
He didn't get much camera time, which is unfortunate because he was really making the point very well. And speaking of just standing up and even just something as simple as wearing a shirt, I loved seeing, there was a woman there who showed up on Sunday. She couldn't walk very well, so she was in a wheelchair. And she said, I want to get one of those shirts. How do I get one of those shirts? Are they going to make
They look
my
dope.
size? I'm like, here's the website, go get one. Because I think it is a way for people to say very proudly, this is a fact.
Yes.
This is science. This is biology.
Yep.
It's not hateful. And I'm not
Not
afraid to say
bigotry.
it.
Yeah. Did you notice or did you hear later how the broadcast, the ESPN broadcast, took the time
This
to do
isn't
a live
prejudice.
segment
This
during the game
isn't.
to talk
This
about
is
Cheryl
not
Reed's shirt?
prejudice
I forgot about
or
that when we
hatred.
discussed her earlier.
This is biology.
This is logic.
It's not hateful, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah. Did you notice or did you hear later how the broadcast, the ESPN broadcast, took the time to do a live segment during the game to talk about Cheryl Reed's shirt? I forgot about that when we discussed her earlier. And they made a point to make sure that that was a segment for that sideline reporter. No mention at all about what happened outside.
Did they mention that Riley and Jen were sitting there courtside watching the game?
No,
Did they mention
nothing.
that Riley had her
And
sign taken away from her while
Crazy.
hateful signs were
Unfairly,
allowed to be
unjustly.
kept?
Yeah.
yeah, there's no mention of that. By the way,
It is
I know we
crazy.
have a picture of Riley and Jen.
Yeah, a
with
worker
Sophie right after the game, and you can see the sign that Michelle's
told her
referring
to
that,
take down the sign. He told Gaines to take down the sign. She said,
everyone else is allowed to stand up
she
and block
said,
people with their signs, right? But what's wrong with Riley's taken away? Yeah.
crazy.
To make sure that that was a segment for that sideline
She
reporter.
refused to take down the sign, Gaines. She refused because she wasn't
Did they mention that Riley and Jen were sitting there courtside watching
breaking any
No,
policy
nothing.
or guideline or rule. The sign was the right size. She didn't block the view of anybody. She didn't. There was no deprecatory language. The language meant to say the language wasn't deprecatory on her sign. She didn't say F trans people or any. She didn't say F trans people or they suck or they're below or anything like this.
No, nothing. Did you notice or did you hear later?
She had Sophie's name on it. This was the reason the worker said she had to take down the sign. Sophie Cunningham's name was on there. Her first name, Sophie, was on the sign. Her first name was on the sign. This is the reason the worker gave when he talked to Gaines. This is the reason he gave, but yeah, it was BS, bro. There's no rule saying there's no rule saying you can't put names on signs. the fans across the board are permitted to have names on the signs. So it was BS, bro. They had a back and forth, but he ended up saying sorry to Gaines, or he ended up giving an apology later in the night. So salutes to him, but he was bugging for telling her to take down a sign that didn't break any rule. Salutes to him for giving an apology later, but he was bugging for telling Gaines to take down the sign that didn't break any rule. Salutes to him for giving an apology, but he was bugging for telling Gaines to take down the sign that didn't break any rule.
I love seeing, there was a woman there who showed up on Sunday. She couldn't walk very well, so she was in a wheelchair, and she said, I want to get one of those shirts. How do I get one of those shirts? Are they going to make them in my size? I'm like, here's the website, go get one. Because I think it is a way for people to say very proudly, this is a fact, this is science, this is biology.
To make sure that was a segment for that sideline reporter. No mention at all about what happened outside.
Did they mention that Riley and Jen were sitting there courtside watching the game?
No,
Did they mention
nothing.
that Riley had her sign taken away from her while the hateful signs were allowed to be kept?
Crazy selectiveness, wokeness,
There's no mention of that.
partiality.
I know we have a picture of Riley
It is a poison.
and
It is a disease.
Jen, with Sophie right after the game.
It is what it is. It is trash, but it is what it is.
Riley put the sign.
Don't image say Sophie
They
Gaines.
made Riley put the sign down. Some people, you can see the sign that Michelle's referring to. They made Riley put the sign down. Some people said, well, it's because they were standing up and blocking people. Everyone else is allowed to stand up and block people with their signs, right? But what wrong with Riley is taken away. Yeah, I was disappointed, but not surprised.
The reason is Gaines doesn't align with these people politically. The reason is Gaines does not align with these people politically. The reason is Gaines does not align with these people politically.
The sign that has a specific player's name on it.
People. Everyone else is allowed to stand up and block people with their signs, right? But what wrong with Riley is taken away. Yeah, I was disappointed, but not surprised.
Because it had a player's name on it. That's what they told her. You can't hold a sign that has a specific player's name on it. Why is that exclusive? Is that not inclusive enough? I mean, I heard today that the team later apologized to Riley. I hope that's the truth.
Yes, it is.
I hope so too. But again, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that the broadcast team, and listen, Rebecca Lobo, a Hall of Famer. I love her. I always have. Ryan Rucco, a great play-by-play guy. And this is above them, certainly, but Rebecca was very strongly encouraging people to go back and listen to what Cheryl said about protecting trans kids and not excluding others. So I guess we're not going to be able to depend on the media. Ryan Rucco, a great play-by-play guy, and this is above them, certainly, but Rebecca was very strongly encouraging people to go back and listen to what Cheryl said about protecting trans kids and not excluding others. So I guess we're not going to be able to depend on the media, the mainstream media like ESPN, to say the right thing here now.
No, of course not.
They're craving
that recording, but what about going back and listening to Sophie too, when she was standing in that hallway in Indiana or wherever she was and got asked that, you know what, play them side by side. Play them side by side, and then we'll make the decision.
Yep.
Well, we need to continue to pray about it, honestly, because this is big. This is bigger than basketball.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that is our role with the platforms that we have. In that case, or on that note, I should say, I have been hearing you, and you know this from.
We will, and it's there. Salutes to these women for saying what is the logical thing, what is logic meant to say. Salutes to these women for saying what is logic, for telling the truth, for unapologetically saying what it is. It is logic. It is rationality. It isn't detestation to say women and men are different. They have clear differences. Men are typically bigger, stronger, and faster than women. So it isn't bigotry to say what it is. This is the incontestable truth. If you are averse to the incontestable truth, it is your issue, your problem. If you are averse to the incontestable truth, it is your problem, period. Salutes to all of the pundits who said logical-ish pertaining to this topic. Salutes to all of the pundits who said logical-ish pertaining to this. Tatum, the National Review, Linda Cohn, COHN, Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, Emily Jashinsky. Who else? There are many more people who said logical-ish. Yeah, those are some of the people. Megyn Kelly, National Review, Tatum, Linda Cohn. Yeah, these people are some of the people who said logical-ish. Salutes to everybody who kept it all the way a buck, who didn't hold back, who were unapologetic but civil simultaneously. So yeah, big ups to these people when it comes to this convo, this issue, this topic. Salutes to all of the people who kept it all the way a buck pertaining to this topic. Real-ish, real talk.